Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I wake up this morning and I see at ACOSXRP1's tweet, what just happened? Crypto crash? I haven't even opened up my charts yet and I come to this, drop 10% in less than 20 minutes. Oh, are you serious? Well, to be honest, it looks worse on paper than it really is. Crypto Hawk though, geez, I went to the toilet for a minute and came back to this. Apparently this all happened within 20 minutes or so. And here we have Bitcoin on a daily. And you know, Bitcoin actually didn't suffer too much. It was a lot of the alts that mostly suffered. So you can see Bitcoin's down just a little bit, and even here 1.08% versus 5, 7, 9, 8, 8, 7. Okay, so clearly Bitcoin is holding strong. While some of the alts, let me just go to XRP on the daily. Okay, XRP, look, so we're seeing larger declines for some of the alts, but guys, it's not just XRP. Whoops, let me go XLM just to show you another example. XLM down quite a bit. TRX as another example. Okay, down quite a bit. Again, these are charts on the daily, guys. EOS, for example. Okay, a lot of down pressure now for some of the alts. But never fear, because patterns repeat themselves. And so let's go back to XRP. And so I know, as a microcosm, this looks terrible. It looks horrible, right? XRP on the daily, we were up as high as 32 and change, and now we are just hovering under 29. Yeesh. But realistically, guys, when you look at the charts and you go back to before the bull run of 2017, which I always love to look at, because ultimately this was the market we were in before that bull run, and we saw lows. So okay, so let's not pay attention to this. Let's look at this pattern here, the vacillating pattern. We saw lows of 12 cents for XRP, 0.127, let's say 12.7. Okay, going up as high as 30 cents, 29 and change, so more than 100%. Okay, going back down here to 14 cents or so. I want to show you guys this on a larger scale. So 14.8, so 0.148, going back up to 29 and change. So 100% gain, losing it all. 100% gain, right? And so that was what was happening before this bull run here. So guys, just to put things into perspective, these cryptocurrencies are very fragile. Nothing is happening in the space right now. So we're going to see these large fluctuations. And to be honest with you, this fluctuation really isn't as bad, or rather the losses and the gains aren't as much as what we were seeing before the last bull run in 2017. So just to put some things into perspective for you guys, Ripple's role is to be a technology service provider, says Ripple's Senior VP of Marketing. And so Monica Long, Senior VP of Marketing for Ripple, spoke to Trader Cobb on Ripple's area of interest, as well as the institutional client aspect of the company's technologies. Long stated that Ripple's main mission is to identify the use cases of blockchain technology in the payments ecosystem and then make it better. She claimed that Ripple aims to improve the ecosystem for individuals and institutions, and these are her words. We want to remove all friction from the global payments system based on the principle of the core technologies that will enable interoperability between payment networks. Ripple's role is to be a technology service provider while at the same time looking to rewire the infrastructure without becoming a network operator. It is the financial institution that will use the technology. So the Ripple official also touched upon other payments that the company plans to replace once being in control of liquidity by the cities and the HBCs of the world, and to create an open marketplace while at the same time democratizing trading. She said, she finally added here, if you are more independent like a hedge fund, then you can provide liquidity for payment flows like never before. And guys, liquidity. That's what XRP is for. That's what Ripple wants to provide. I also just wanted to touch on this quote here where she talks about they don't want to, or rather they want to become the technology service provider while at the same time looking to rewire the infrastructure without becoming a network operator. And I think that Bob Way mentioned this too in his interview with Alex Cobb, how Ripple's goal is to kind of do less and less work over time. They don't want to be into the nitty-gritty of the day-to-day, and they want to kind of create the infrastructure, create the working system so that banks and financial institutions can kind of just go and run with it. So I thought that was interesting that Monica Long kind of mirrors that same sentiment here in this article. And guys, just going back to this, if this is still on your mind, I know this is heart-wrenching to see this kind of thing after we've been so patient, but realistically, guys, you know, you got to take it from the pros. Bitcoin price won't see new lows. Mike Novogratz is 85% sure of that. This article ultimately references Willy Woo, that's at Woonomic. I surveyed notable influencers, he says, analysts and traders for their probability that the bottom is in for the bear market. Here are the results. And as you can see here, he lists a whole bunch. Guys, I'll link the tweet in the description. And he gives the actual analyst or the specialist in the market who gave that result. So Woonomic, who is the trader here from Adaptive Capital, 95% sure the bottom is in. The Kraken founder, I don't know who all these people are. This is Jesse Powell, for example. This is Arjun Balaji. And so he lists them all and he links their Twitter accounts to the tweet. So 90%, 85, Mike Novogratz here. Eric Voorhees, big Bitcoin proponent, founder of Shapeshifter, 85%. And so you can see, obviously, as we move down the list, some people are more skeptical, like Peter Brandt, okay, and some others. So interesting to see some perspective on this. But I'm in agreement. I thought that since we saw... to be honest with you, so let's go back to the Bitcoin chart, because once we saw this, okay, after this huge dump in December, and then we saw it climb right back out, making higher highs, higher lows, and we saw this pressure. Okay, I know, whoops, that's a trend line. I don't want a trend line. I want some drawing action here. Once we saw this pressure moving up, we hadn't seen this kind of pressure in this market for so long, right? It was all downward, downward, downward. I mean, we saw a little bit, but we weren't making new highs, okay? We were basing in this zone here, and then finally broke out of this sideways pattern and made new highs, new lows. And so as soon as I saw that personally, I was in agreement, as are a lot of these professional crypto traders and crypto exchange founders, so on and so forth. So guys, don't let this get you down. This is small picture stuff. We got to look at the bigger picture always. And finally, Disney. Wow, what a story. Disney could soon own oldest Bitcoin exchange in $13 billion equity deal, okay? How much more bullish can you get when you hear that a company like Disney is ultimately doing a deal? Now, they're not buying a crypto exchange straight out, but let me just read a little bit of this for you. As local news outlets Jongang Ilbo reported, quoted by Korea Herald, April 17th, Disney is currently one of the major bidders for a 98.6% stake in Nexon. So Nexon is Korea's largest game developer and second largest online game publisher in the world. But Nexon is a 47% owner of NXC, the chairman of which, Jung-Ju Kim, is behind the sale shares. But Nexon is a 47% owner of NXC. So these major entities have a stake, including Tencent, Kakao, both of which are currently pursuing cryptocurrency-related projects of their own. So Disney, however, is allegedly the first in line for the deal, for the offering. Should the $13.2 billion deal go ahead, Disney will have access to European exchange Bitstamp via NXC's investment structure, NXMH. So it gets a little sticky, but ultimately, guys, what it means is that Disney would be getting into the Bitcoin game. They would be owning Bitstamp. Okay, Disney doesn't do anything that doesn't make sense for Disney. How many D's can you fit in a sentence? Think about it, guys. Disney just bought up Fox. Disney is a monster. Okay, and let me just, oh man, I hate, every time I have to look at Disney stock, it really kind of doesn't anger me, but I just throw my hands up in the air because my cousins have Disney stock, okay? My great aunt bought my cousin's Disney stock way back when, in 1983, when it was trading at $1.48 a share, right when my cousins were born. And you know what? Guess what? They're still holding it. Yeah, they're still holding it. It's worth $133 a share, but not only that, it's split since then. So, Disney, solid company. I personally think Disney is going to be one of the biggest companies, well, media companies at least, in the world in the next decade. But guys, what does this mean for crypto? What does this mean for adoption? Disney doesn't do anything that doesn't make sense financially, guys. I think if this Disney deal goes through, we could probably see that alone spark a bull run, the magnitude of nothing we've ever seen before. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.